From Indiana's #1 news source, this is Fox 59 News at 10.
It's been 2 years since a 19-year-old shot and killed 8 people at a FedEx facility in the deadliest mass shooting ever seen in Indiana.
We're doing something wrong.
We're talking to the shooter's own mother, who has a message for the victims 2 years later.
We're monitoring storms as they move through central Indiana. We'll have an update on where they are and what we need to prepare for ahead in your forecast.
A group of Hoosiers coming together to demand action outside the NRA convention.
We're just trying to support gun reform.
Their calls for reform as gun rights organizers flock to Indiana from across the U.S. Fox 59 News at 10 starts right now. Well, we begin tonight with a look at our weather. After a gorgeous week here in central Indiana, clear skies and 70 degrees, it almost felt like it was May. But now that mirage is coming to an end. Good evening, I'm Cameron Ridle. We start tonight in the Weather Center here with Tucker Antico, who has been tracking the possibility, so we're going to blame him for possible cold weathers and flurries that could be coming our way.
That's right. Yeah, things will take a major turn tomorrow. But come on, it's been a great week.
It's been a great day.
We get some credit for that at least, right?
You can get the credit for that.
I'll take it.
And you also get the blame.
I'm okay with that too, because we still have some nice weather this week. But first things first, we have to talk about storms that are on the way into central Indiana right now. Actually, really going to be western Indiana over the next 30 minutes is where they'll arrive. And you can see them just appearing on the side of your screen here. I believe that's the left side of your screen as they begin to approach us, impacting places like Champaign and Effingham, both in Illinois. But if we take a wider look here, you can see again we have a line of storms here, quite a bit of orange and yellow and red colors in there. That's a sign of the strength of some of these storms. We did see quite a bit of severe weather as these moved through Missouri earlier, a couple tornado warnings actually for the St. Louis metro area. But the good news is that we don't have any severe storm warnings or tornado warnings on the edge of the storms here that are going to move into Indiana. So at this point, these storms are strong, but not severe at this time. You're going to also begin to see this line fizzles just a bit over the past couple of hours, and it will continue to weaken as it moves into Indiana. Still, the chance for strong storms exists across the western part of the state, and heavy rain and at least some rumbles of thunder through at least central Indiana as this progresses later into the evening. What we're seeing across the entire nation here is this line extends all the way down into Houston, Texas. This is all part of a cold front that is sweeping across the nation and is bringing in a change in our weather back down to well below average marks, at least as we head into tomorrow and Monday. But we're still very mild outside. 72 degrees is our current temperature, and we'll stay mild until we get into tomorrow morning. In fact, across the rest of Indiana here, we're looking at temps that are no colder than 66, and of course there are still some areas sitting in the 70s. Many of us made it to 80 today too. As we look across the next several hours, notice that after the rain moves through and is going to be in and out between around midnight and 2 a.m. as those showers begin to fizzle and break apart, we are going to see temperatures drop it slowly. Tomorrow morning, we will see rain re-enter. That's as the cold front comes through. This rain is moving in ahead of it right now, but the cold front will impact us in the morning. It'll bring a second round of rain and quickly dropping temperatures, which we'll talk more about ahead.
All right, Tucker, we know you'll keep us updated through the night. Well, it has been 2 years today since 8 people were killed at a FedEx facility on the southwest side in the deadliest mass shooting in Indiana history. The shooter, 19-year-old Brandon Hull, then turned the gun on himself at the scene of his former workplace. Fox 59's Kaylee Schuyler spoke with Brandon's mother today, and she has a message for the victims 2 years later.
Sheila Hull, Brandon's mother, is urging everyone to take mental health more seriously. She says the day before the mass shooting, Brandon said to his counselor that he was a danger to society and society should be scared of him.
I think about it every day. So it's just part, as I'm sure they do. It's a part of my life.
2 years ago today, 19-year-old Brandon Hull parked his car at FedEx, his former employer, and shot 8 people.
I'm a firm believer that the gun did not get up and shoot those people. I am a believer that the person shot those people and killed them.
Hull says she did everything she could to help her son's mental health and prevent something like this from happening.
The Wednesday before the shooting, he told the counselor that he had no empathy for anyone. He was a danger to society. Society should be afraid of him.
Hull says she tried to give police and psychiatrists documents and pictures for evidence, but no one wanted to see them. Then he purchased a shotgun to kill himself.
They took him to Eskenazi, and he was held for 2 hours. They called me and said, "Oh, he's not suicidal. He seems fine."
Hull says every time she sees a mass shooting, it's a reminder work needs to be done with gun violence.
It just makes me know, I know that we as a people, as a country, we're doing wrong.
And her message to victims and their families has never wavered.
I would just hope that if they needed anything from me, if they had any questions that I could answer, I would definitely, anything to help them ease their mind.
This week, survivors of the shooting and families of victims filed a lawsuit against the importer of the high-capacity magazine used by the shooter. The lawsuit claims the accessories are marketed with the intention of carrying out military-style assaults.
I tried my best, and I am so sorry. And I guess ultimately in the end, that's all we can do is just try the best we can.
Hull also stressed that not only getting the mental health help you need is important, but also finding the right person to help you. In the newsroom, Kaylee Schuyler, Fox 59 News.
We go to a Fox 59 crime tracker alert now. A man is dead and another is injured after a shooting on the city's northwest side. It happened around 3:30 this morning. Metro Police responded to IU Health University Hospital downtown, where they were told someone was shot. When officers got there, they found two men shot in a vehicle. They were both taken to Eskenazi Hospital. One man was pronounced dead. Right now, detectives don't know where the shooting actually happened. However, they have not released any information on any suspects. If you know anything, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. Their number is 317-262-TIPS. New information now out of Martinsville, where officials say a person has died in a car crash. The Morgan County Sheriff's Office responded to the crash this afternoon after they say a driver, 64-year-old Terry Thomas, was dead on the scene. A passenger was also ejected from that vehicle. Right now, there's no word on that person's condition. Deputies do believe that the car ran into the overpass embankment before both passengers were ejected. The investigation now is ongoing. In Johnson County, a woman was killed in a two-car crash. It happened at State Road 135 and County Road 500. The sheriff's office says a teen driver was trying to make a turn off of the state road and then on to the county road. The driver claims he did not see the other car heading straight and ended up hitting it. The investigation is ongoing tonight. This weekend, the National Rifle Association is hosting their annual convention in downtown Indy. Today, dozens gathered across the street from the convention center to protest for gun reform. The protest was at a designated protesting spot set up by the city. Hoosiers came together to read the names of the child and the child victims of gun violence and to participate in a die-in where protesters laid on the ground. They are demanding some form of legislation to prevent further violence.
We do realize that we are in a conservative state. We realize that that would be really hard, but right now we're just looking for simple gun reform. We're looking to protect our children and our babies and everything else that we possibly can, and we're hoping that we can just get our word out to everyone.
The convention will continue through this weekend. Last night, multiple people, Emma, who are big figures on the National Republican stage, came to speak at the convention. That included former President Donald Trump, who promised to fight for gun rights if he wins the election.
As your president, that's exactly what I did. We saved our Second Amendment, and we're going to save it for a long time to come. It's under siege, but we're going to save it for a long time to come, forever, as far as I'm concerned.
Former Vice President Mike Pence, who's considering a run for president, also spoke at the convention yesterday. He says legislation in Washington should now focus on school safety.
I think the time has come for leaders in our nation's capital to give every community in the country the funds to place armed resource officers in every public and private school in America.
The convention runs through tomorrow afternoon. In Richmond, residents are anxiously waiting for news about when they can return home. Thousands of residents have been under an evacuation order since this major warehouse fire started Tuesday afternoon. While much of the fire is out now, fire crews are still staying on the scene this weekend watching for hot spots. Today, EPA contractors were out flagging debris and removing debris. The city is asking anyone who comes across that debris to not pick it up off of their property. The number right there on your screen is who you need to call if you find some of that debris. City officials are urging people not to touch any of that debris if it comes from the fire. The city is making new cleaning kits for people who are returned to their home once the evacuation order is lifted. Those will be available for free from the health department. The mayor says he will hold a meeting tomorrow morning to determine the best time to lift the evacuation order. We'll keep you updated on what those plans will be. We'll have it for you right here on air and online at fox59.com. Well, today hundreds of motorcyclists parked their bikes and picked up a basketball to raise money for the Hawthorne Community Center. It's part of the 317 Riders Motorcycle Club weekend. Each year, the club joins other clubs in the area to raise money for different community centers. Organizers say it's not just about raising money. It's also about the time they spend in the community and with the kids.
I always want to make sure kids are seeing positive role models and positive images of themselves in an adult form. Hopefully, they're seeing their future.
Organizers say over the weekend, they usually raise around $10,000 for the local community organizations. Well, Fox 59 is looking for your help to feed the hungry Hoosiers right here in our backyard in our annual Pack the Pantries campaign. Over the past couple of days, you've raised nearly $50,000 for Gleaners and Midwest Food Bank for this year's Pack the Pantries campaign. There is still time for you to jump in and help if you can. The number that you can text is right there on your screen to donate to Gleaners and Midwest. You can also click on fox59.com to find out other ways to give. You can donate through the rest of the weekend. Well, up next, a major leak. There are new details after top secret intelligence is leaked by a former National Guard member. Tucker.
We're watching storms tonight as they move into Indiana. We'll let you know how strong they'll be and when they'll be out of here ahead in your forecast.
For many local shops, being eco-friendly goes beyond regular recycling. We'll spotlight how some local businesses support their community.
We're saying goodbye for now to sunny and 70-degree days. I'm tracking our rain chances and when temperatures will warm back up.
And count on us to give you more local news and updates about your commute all morning long. We'll see you on Fox 59 Morning News.
We're not afraid to go up against billion-dollar insurance companies. Our team is special because they put the client first.
The last thing they want to do is deal with an insurance adjuster that's calling them every other day.
That's what makes me want to fight back.
What happens after it happens?
Hensley happens.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield.
Tired of your house looking drab? Call Rhino Shield and never paint your house again. It works on virtually every surface and will turn your home from drab to fab. Our Rhino Shield team does extensive prep work on your home or business, then our exclusive primer sealer is applied, followed by our revolutionary Rhino Shield coating system. Rhino Shield comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Never paint again. Call Rhino Shield today and get 15% off.
Rhino Shield.
Ascension St. Vincent is the leader in Indiana for heart care, providing the most advanced surgical options, including heart transplants and valve replacements. Our cardiologists and heart surgeons care for hearts across the state, from AFib to heart failure, using minimally invasive options when possible to help shorten recovery, making Ascension St. Vincent your first choice for routine heart care and cardiac emergencies. Find a cardiologist today at ascension.org/St. Vincent Heart.
At Batteries Plus, we do more than replace batteries and fix phones and tablets. We help our neighbors power their lives.
Visit Batteries Plus for free auto battery testing and installation. Get powered in-store, curbside, and at batteriesplus.com.
What's gotten lost in a lot of news coverage is trust.
Look, trust is earned, and it's harder and harder these days to earn it. But I think you do the right job, you do it consistently.
Consistent calling out of the game and refocusing power on the interests of people.
And I hope that News Nation is the place that people can trust, that at the least we're trying to be straight with them.
See why America's fastest growing cable news network is News Nation.
Looking for a car? Anil is raising the bar. 5-star service, 5-star reviews, 5-star satisfaction. Call or text Anil to get a 5-star deal.
Insurance companies have a big team. We need a team that's even more committed and more passionate.
I love being compassionate and empathetic with the clients.
They need somewhere to start, and we are here to help them take that first step.
What happens after it happens?
Hensley happens.
11:03 now, and we've got some breaking news that we want you to be aware of. There was a police presence on Monument Circle tonight. We spoke with officers patrolling the downtown area, and they said they will be closing the circle to traffic and keeping crowds to a minimum. This is what it looks like down there tonight. You see a number of police officers in the area. Now, they would not tell us exactly why they are closing the circle, other than to say it is a warm weekend. We'll keep you updated as we work to learn more about why Monument Circle is being closed tonight. A 21-year-old is under arrest in connection to a massive leak of U.S. intelligence, and it affects multiple foreign countries. Lucas Tomlinson has more tonight on the reaction from top officials, including President Biden.
There's no way to predict how long an investigation will take, but I don't think it's going to take very long. I think we're getting to the bottom of it quicker than I anticipated.
Now, more of Teixeira's leaks of highly classified, top-secret information have been discovered. The Washington Post reporting Taiwan is unlikely to stop a Chinese invasion, not only because of its missile superiority, but also China's use of civilian transport ships for military purposes, which have eroded U.S. spy agencies' ability to detect a pending invasion. It might be too much for American attack submarines to sink. The Post also reporting U.S. intelligence agencies were aware of up to 4 additional Chinese spy balloons, in addition to that 4,000-pound Chinese spy craft that made a week-long odyssey across the United States before being shot down in early February, including over a U.S. aircraft carrier strike group, likely Nimitz in the Western Pacific, another crash in the South China Sea. Over 1 million Americans possess a top-secret clearance. Officials tell Fox the Pentagon is looking at how many, in addition to the leaker, had access to the military's Joint Worldwide Intelligence Communications System, better known by its acronym JWICS, and how that information is secured. Lawmakers from both parties are fired up over this leak of closely guarded secrets.
Too many people have access to this information. This was, again, very embarrassing for the United States, and also it wasn't helpful to our allies around the world, so we need to put a stop to it.
I believe the Pentagon is going to be on the hot seat in Congress. They're going to have to answer to how this breakdown occurred.
Congress is back in session next week. Teixeira has his next court appearance Wednesday. At the White House, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Lucas, thank you. We've got new information now on the historic tornadoes that hit Indiana 2 weeks ago. President Biden has approved a disaster declaration to help fund repairs. On social media, Governor Eric Holcomb said the declaration has been signed and thanked the president for the help. The funding will help repair Indiana cities hit hard by more than 20 tornadoes in one night. The tornado outbreak included 4 separate EF3 tornadoes which hit Sullivan, Johnson, Owen, and Grant counties. 5 people were killed in those storms. Reconstruction efforts are now underway, and now this new funding from the federal government will help pay for it. Well, speaking of weather, we've had one amazing day weather-wise here in central Indiana. It continues to be a beautiful stretch from this entire week, but now they say all good things must come to an end, but I disagree. Meteorologist Tucker Antico says we have a bit of cold weather coming, and some people might like the cold weather, just not this time of year.
Yeah, that's right. And we kind of seemed like we were beyond the coldest weather, but Mother Nature's reminding us that in April you can really get all sorts of weather, from tornadoes to 80-degree days to even snow. Last year, actually, we did see snow right around this time of year, too. So we'll get into that here in the forecast. But first things first, we're tracking the chance for some storms or at least some rain across parts of Indiana. That's going to come with a cool down, too, but something that will not be realized until about 8 to 9 a.m. That's when that cold air will eventually get to us. Today, it was anything but cold air. We actually made it up to 80 degrees once again. We were 4 degrees below the record of 84, in fact, and 16 above our average of 64. Very warm day for us, and certainly the last that we'll see for at least a few days. Temperatures right now are actually back into the 60s almost everywhere. Muncie and Terre Haute, the only locations that are hanging on to their 70s still, but we're going to see everyone drop further into the 60s as rain begins to approach the state. And you can see this right now on the left side of your screen, where these showers and storms are moving in from the west. Now, earlier tonight, we were watching what was a pretty strong line of storms, a severe line of storms, I should say, move through places like St. Louis and through the western portion of Illinois. Now that it's progressed through the state of Illinois, what's happening is it's losing some of its power because the sun has already set, and also we have drier air over our heads here in Indiana than they do out in Missouri, and that dry air does eat away at storms a bit. Now, what we are seeing at this present moment, however, are still a couple strong storms on the leading edge of this line. That said, they've weakened very quickly. Even since we started our newscast here, there has been marked weakening on this leading edge of the storms. But still, I would expect heavy rain, certainly some rumbles of thunder in the western portion of the state towards central Indiana, closer to the metro area. It may be rainy at times late tonight, really overnight, but it's not going to be so stormy. It could be a rumble of thunder, but I'm not expecting any severe weather if you're closer to Indianapolis. Even in western Indiana, that severe threat does look like it's relatively low at this point. But we're going to keep an eye on it, and you should be prepared just in the off chance a severe storm does develop out of what is left in this line of storms. We have a cold front which is a little bit behind this initial line of storms. They fired up along the cold front but have moved out ahead of it. This cold front instead will move through tomorrow. It'll move through central Indiana by around 7 to 9 a.m. And as it does, it'll bring a change in our weather, and a very noticeable change at that. By the way, with storms, before we get to the cold front and the timing of that, you can see here on Fox Futurecast just what I was talking about before. They really weaken as they move through the central part of the state. And now onto the timing of the cold front. This is the second piece of rain you're seeing move through here, likely in the early to mid-morning, depending on where you are in the state. And once that gets through, it's going to be much colder weather on the way. Even some snowflakes could mix in northern Indiana come Monday morning with any moisture that's left over. Very noticeable change. And you can see that here in our temperatures. 40s to the west of us, still 70s and 60s where we are, but that's on its way out with a front. Now, temperatures tomorrow morning may begin around 60 degrees, but as that front comes through, we drop very fast, and by the peak of our normal daytime heating in the afternoon, that's around 5 o'clock, we'll be back down to the upper 40s, and we'll still see cooler weather on the way heading into Monday, where high temperatures may not get out of the mid and upper 40s. That'll really depend on if we get any sun or not, and right now it does seem like most of the state outside of the southwestern portions will be stuck with some of that cooler weather overhead. It'll be windy as well. That's going to add to the chill. Tomorrow, your peak gusts get up to around 35 miles per hour. And on Monday, those wind gusts actually continue to increase. We could see those peak gusts approach 40 before our wind dies down on Tuesday. So a bit messier, of course, to close out the weekend, to begin the new week, but we are looking forward to better days, and you'll see that here on Tuesday with temperatures returning to about 60 degrees, a good mix of sun and clouds, and we actually jump much further than that heading into Wednesday with high temperatures that should be in at least the mid-70s with some sun. Storm chances increase Thursday and Friday, but it will also be quite nice and mild, similar to the weather that we saw just a couple days ago.
All right, Tucker, good to hear that the storms headed our way now appear to be dying
That's
down
right.
and less severe. That is good news. All right, still to come here tonight, cleaning up the community, the efforts to get rid of some litter ahead of the big race next month. Plus, baseball is back, the historic league celebrating opening day today.
It was a big truck, and it hit us.
They knew tractor trailers had a black box.
I'm glad I called before something happened to that data.
I knew we had to act fast.
I called an experienced truck accident lawyer.
One with the knowledge and power to get results.
When it comes to serious truck accidents,
they know their stuff.
Call a powerful truck accident lawyer. Call 1-800-2-KELLER. Keller and Keller. Right now.
1-800-2-KELLER. At Spinal Care, we understand how pain can affect your life. Our physician treats each patient in a safe and effective manner, so you get back to doing all those amazing things.
Excruciating pain for 6 or more years. I had compression fractures. I think 3 or 4 sessions, my back got noticeably better. It didn't feel like a clinic. It felt just like a happy place.
Call Spinal Care today. The first 20 callers will receive a free consultation.
And remember, at Spinal Care,
we've got your back. At Falcone Volkswagen, our customers always come first. That's why we are a 5-time Volkswagen Dealer of the Year for the state of Indiana. As a family-run dealership, we care about you and your experience. We've never charged you a dealer dock fee, and we never will.
Is everyone family when Popeyes hits the table? With 6 pieces of our signature chicken, 2 chicken sandwiches, 2 large sides, and 4 flaky biscuits, it's enough for all your cousins, even the ones that aren't really your cousins, all for $29.99.
Get 10 premium Window World windows for $69.50. Compare at $12,000.
Easy to open and easy to clean, and backed by the Good Housekeeping seal.
Don't confuse our low prices with inferior products. Window World, simply the best for less and America's best warranty. Even glass breakage, windows, siding, doors. Free in-home estimate, call 7 days a week.
We're the family that continues to stand behind and on our windows.
Window World is simply the best for less.
Call us today.
10 premium windows for $69.50.
Get your paychecks up to 2 days faster with Early Pay. True story. Welcome to Huntington.
Take a break from your mid-morning slump. See why Indy Now is the most watched lifestyle show in central Indiana. Come for the best deals. Stay for the laughs. Watch Indy Now. Weekdays at 10 a.m. on Fox 59.
Well, here we go. We are counting down to the 107th running of the Indy 500. There are only 43 days left until racers will start their engines, and residents of Speedway are already working to get the town ready. Over 40 Hoosiers work to pick up the trash around the town. This community cleanup event happens each year before the month of May. It's all in preparation of the excitement of the Indy 500.
We all hate trash. We've had a very windy spring and things have been blown all over, stuck in the landscape. So this is a great opportunity for everyone to come out, friends, families, civic groups, and kind of get the town ready for May and put our best foot forward.
Volunteers say they are trying to put together another day in June to help with the cleanup efforts after the race. Well, baseball is back in the Circle City. Today, hundreds of kids and families turned out for the opening ceremonies of the new Little League season. The Frederick Douglass Little League is one of the oldest Little Leagues in the nation. We spoke with the league president, who says they hope the league can give kids something fun to do and keep them out of trouble.
Our motto is to save one life at a time. You know, we can't save them all, but if we can save that one child, you know, that's what we're here to do. You know, save these kids, give them something fun and special to do in the community.
Right now, there are games on the weekends through the end of the school year. Officials plan to revisit the schedule after that. In the heart of the Mass Ave Arts District, hundreds came out today to celebrate St. Benno's Fest. It's the city's oldest and longest running cultural event hosted by the Athenaeum Foundation. Attendees grabbed their steins and enjoyed their drinks, live music, and food at the Rathskeller, celebrating the classic German-American event, which is 110 years in the making.
Really, the spring celebration is the celebration of being able to go back outside, right? It's the opening of beer gardens, the kind of the Bach season. So that's why it was always really important.
St. Benno Fest dates back to 1913 when a brewery in Germany named a block beer after St. Benno. Their patron saint is who they named it. Up next, a therapy center employee arrested for child molestation. We have reaction from the mother of one of the victims.
In a chase across 4 different counties.
One of the suspects exchanged gunfire with officers.
A young girl was taken to Riley Hospital.
And this evening, we do want to carefully share parts of that.
From Kokomo to Columbus, Richmond to Crawfordsville, we are Indiana's most watched news. Fox 59 News.
Don't hold your love hostage to price this season. Support local businesses and check out American Jewelers' great deals. We carry high-end watches for as low as $100. From gemstones to wedding rings to necklaces and chains, American Jeweler has it all. We'll design one-of-a-kind pieces for that special someone or repair that heirloom with the utmost care. Don't forget, we buy gold and silver too. Stop into American Jewelers where we'll take care of you.
American Jeweler.
When it's time for new flooring, it's time for Tish Flooring. You're gonna love Tish. We bring the samples to you. Evenings, no problem. Weekends, we're there. See samples in your home, under your lights, with your furniture. Carpet, luxury vinyl plank, hardwood or tile, Tish makes it easy. Estimates are free, installation is always guaranteed. Call or email Tish. We bring the samples to you.
At Ascension St. Vincent, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare in Indianapolis. Our cardiologists and heart and vascular surgeons are recognized for delivering the most advanced heart and vascular care. Patients choose us for leading brain tumor and stroke care. And families come to Peyton Manning Children's Hospital for advanced specialty care. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured, listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
If you or a loved one has been hurt in a serious car accident, you deserve one-on-one attention from Indy's own personal injury attorney, Tandy Law Firm. Matt Tandy has dedicated his career to helping fellow Hoosiers get the settlement they deserve.
Our clients are not just a number. We'll go the extra mile for you. We'll even come meet you at your home or at the hospital.
Tandy Law Firm believes in a transparent, no-surprises approach. Don't go it alone. Trust a fellow Indy native.
Tandy Law Firm, Indy's own personal injury law firm. Locally grown, nationally recognized.
Looking for a car? Anil is raising the bar. 5-star service, 5-star reviews, 5-star satisfaction. Call or text Anil to get a 5-star deal.
It just keeps getting worse. The crack keeps growing. The doors and windows stick.
This must be very frustrating. Almost no one connects that these are telltale signs that water is shifting your foundation. But it's okay. We got it.
Oh. This is done growing in this house.
Okay.
The effects of water can be surprising, but at Indiana Foundation Service, we'll do a complete home inspection for free, so you can put water back in its place. Schedule a free home inspection today.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
We're following breaking news right now. Let's go to our reporter on the scene.
Stand by, camera 2.
Storms will not get here.
Take that alternate route. It'll save you about 8 to 10 minutes.
Having a great time.
All of that sounds like a good start to your day.
Fox 59 Morning News.
11:20. Welcome back to this late edition of Fox 59 News at 10. Here are our top stories. It has been 2 years today since 8 people were killed at a FedEx facility on the southwest side. The shooter then turned the gun on himself at his former workplace. The shooter's mother says her son was very suicidal. The mother says mental health needs to be taken more seriously. A man is dead and another is injured after a shooting on the city's northwest side. Metro Police responded to IU Health University Hospital. When officers got there, they found 2 men shot in a vehicle. Both were then taken to Eskenazi Hospital. 1 man was pronounced dead. If you know anything about this, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. Their number is 317-262-TIPS. Dozens gathered today to protest for gun reforms across the street from the National Rifle Association annual convention at the Convention Center in downtown Indy. The protest was at a designated protesting spot set up by the city. Hoosiers came together to read the names of child victims of gun violence and to participate in a die-in where they laid on the ground in that protesting section. Protesters are demanding some form of legislation to prevent future violence. Court documents show an employee at a Greenwood Therapy Center confessed to molesting 3 kids under his care. 2 of them were there at that therapy center. Fox 59's Kaylee Schuyler talked to the mother of one of the survivors.
Court documents lay out the disturbing details of a transgender man confessing to police that he molested 3 children. Leomere Kennedy stated to police this week he chose to work at Hope Bridge Autism Center around 8 months ago because it was, quote, a victim pool.
It's bad enough it's a child, but it's a child who is disabled and cannot communicate.
The mother of one survivor who wishes to remain anonymous and will be referred to as Jane says she noticed changes in her nonverbal child's behavior in late January.
More temper tantrums, more aggression, and self-injuries. A lot more.
Court documents state Kennedy would molest children while their caregivers were on their lunch break. He admitted to molesting one child during a diaper change and another while tickling them.
They can't talk to us. They depend on them, us. And for someone who we have to trust and who they trust to do something like this it's sickening. It's terrible.
Jane says she's very involved in her child's school programming, but moving forward, she wants more meetings.
Now I have to force myself to trust moving forward. How do I do that?
Hope Bridge released a statement saying, in part, quote, "We are working with the Greenwood Police Department on an active investigation it is conducting regarding an individual who formerly worked for us. The investigation is not focused on any of our other employees." Jeff Whitman with Prevent Child Abuse Indiana says often a child who is experiencing abuse will display more risk-taking behavior.
I think it's important to have a trauma-informed approach. And so we're not looking at the behavior first and saying, what's wrong with you? We're looking at the behavior and saying, what's going on that these things are happening? Because it's not like you.
Jane says moving forward, she's trusting her gut.
Most of the time, mommies aren't wrong.
In Indianapolis, Kaylee Schuyler, Fox 59 News.
Whitman says it is important to talk with your kids about who their safe adults might be. As for Kennedy, he's considered a flight risk. That's because he told several people that he was heading out of state. Investigators requested a no bond hold before he appears in front of a judge.
Well, our weather tonight may get a bit rainy, even stormy in parts of Indiana, but we'll be keeping an eye on the trends, and that includes colder weather after the rain. We'll talk about all that ahead in your forecast.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Tom Wood Volvo on 96th Street.
Morning. Hardee's 2 for $5 mix and match breakfast starts your day with made from scratch sausage and egg biscuits, biscuit and gravy, or syrupy French toast dips. Pick any two, just $5. My rewards members get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
Deny, delay, devalue. Time's on our side.
It's a serious accident. Lots of medical bills, wrecked vehicles.
Still, don't see a problem.
It's the law offices of Keller and Keller, and they want triple what we offered. And a fair settlement now. Triple.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business. Call 1-800-2-KELLER. Keller and Keller.
Let's settle this one.
Don't hate, don't final, go Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield is the real deal. It's a product that looks just like paint, is sprayed on like paint, but it's going to last 5 to 7 times longer than traditional paint.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day.
Call Rhino Shield today and get 15% off.
I chose Dr. Winslow because of her expertise and her background of excellence, all the reviews that I read, and then during my consultation, just how she put me at ease that I was making a wise decision. My results are better than anything I could have ever hoped for. I'm so thankful that I ended up going to Dr. Winslow.
Hi, I'm Dr. Catherine Winslow. If you're interested in turning the clock back on your face, please reach out to us for a free consultation. I would love to help you.
Looking for a car? Anil is raising the bar. 5-star service, 5-star reviews, 5-star satisfaction. Call or text Anil to get a 5-star deal.
The True Comfort membership plan, at its core, is our way to create relationships with our clients for life.
For HVAC, we come out 2 separate visits. For plumbing, we come out once a year.
It's a full client experience, not just a service call to me.
We believe that maintenance is absolutely critical to doing the right thing. The True Comfort membership is fantastic because it's peace of mind that you don't even have to think about.
When breaking news dominates your day and knowing the facts is crucial. When investigations bring results and the powerful answer to you. When an accurate weather forecast is all you need. It's all right here at the right time with the right team. Watch Fox 59 News at 10.
It's the Hardee's Star Deal Combo. Get a Hardee's Charbroiled Double Cheeseburger, crispy 3-piece hand-breaded chicken tenders, or original hot ham and cheese with a small fry and drink for just $5.99. My Rewards members get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
Well, our weather tonight may get a little bumpier in parts of central Indiana, but we are going to see bigger changes tomorrow after the rain moves out. We're going to start you off tonight with a few showers really arriving here in the next couple of hours. And we're going to see temperatures drop back down from upper 60s to lower 60s as we begin tomorrow morning. But shortly after we begin tomorrow morning, temperatures will drop much quicker as a cold front comes through. By the way, today we made it to 80 once again. It's our third day to reach the mark. We now have a three-way tie for the warmest day of the year with 80 degrees itself. But what's also noticeable here is that 4 of our 6 warmest days now have come in the past week. Really says a lot about how warm it's been, and even temps right now say a lot about how warm it's been too, as we see temperatures still sitting in the upper 60s and low 70s in a couple spots too. Let's talk about rain showers and storms. We've been watching these all night for you in the Weather Center. They were a lot more menacing before they reached the border here of Indiana and Illinois, though. And I can say that we've seen a very substantial weakening trend with this line of storms. And even if we take a little bit of a look to the west here, you can see that line of storms, not so much a line of storms as much as it is mainly showers at this point. You'll still hear some rumbles of thunder out there. And what you're seeing here, that more, I don't really know how to describe it. I guess you could say diffuse color, where you have more of those widespread yellow and oranges there. I can't describe the colors as well, but what I can say is that this is the top of the storm clouds raining themselves out. I got the meteorology down for you. On the leading edge here, though we have a few of those reds and oranges and some thunder and lightning left over, I expect that to really subside pretty quickly over the next hour or so. So the result basically for us here in western Indiana is going to be some rumbles of thunder, some steady rain at times, but the farther east these go, and really by the time they reach central Indiana, the less rain there will be. In fact, I expect it to be just a couple showers, not even any thunder and lightning as these get to the downtown area. And Fox Futurecast says this as well, and you can see that rain shower activity really breaks apart as we head later into the night. Now, as we get into tomorrow morning, a second chance for rain will come through, and this will come through right along with the front between about 8 and 9 a.m. as it appears now, and that'll set us up for a much colder day tomorrow, and certainly those changes are going to linger into Monday as well. Could even be some flurries too in northern Indiana here as that cold air really settles in. This is all moving in along with the cold front, and the rain we're seeing right now, that's moved out ahead of the front. But once we see that front come through in the early morning tomorrow, we're going to see changes very quickly. And you can already see those changes in areas to the west that have seen that front move through. Temps are in the 40s and 30s out there. Still in the 60s and 70s here, but again, it will not take long for that to be washed out as the front progresses across the state. So tomorrow, temps begin the day around 60. We finish the day in the mid-40s, and we're going to continue to cool off heading into Monday. In fact, Monday, I expect high temperatures to have a difficult time getting out of the 40s unless you're in southwestern Indiana, where there may be some more sun. But I would plan on Monday being a cooler day. On top of that, it'll be breezy. Wind gusts tomorrow reach the mid-30s, and heading into Monday, we're going to see those wind gusts approach about 40 miles per hour before they do begin to lighten as we get into your Tuesday. So breezy tomorrow, even breezier on Monday, and then Tuesday things finally begin to turn a little bit. And not just in the wind, but our weather as a whole will begin to get better. We're going to see more sun, we're going to see temperatures increase, and we won't be quite too average on Tuesday, but I'll leave that to Wednesday. In fact, temperatures should be back into the 70s as soon as Wednesday this week. There'll be a mix of sun and clouds, and eventually on Thursday, we're going to have our best chance to reach 80 this week, but we'll be tracking storms late this week as well. So we'll be following that for you, but enjoy the nice weather after we get through a couple chilly days to begin the new week.
All right, Tucker, thank you. The Colts and Michael Pittman Jr. are working toward a new contract. We have the details on those talks just ahead, plus just in time for a first-time pole winner in the IndyCar Series. We'll recap the day on the streets of Long Beach coming up in sports.